The victims have been identified as Rori and Michael Burch Jr.
I'm just glad that my kids wasn't here to see it. Like, I mean, I've seen stuff like this before. I've heard about it, but you know, it's for it to be right there. It's scary. It's scary.
Around 5:45 p.m. on August 31st, Prince George police responded to a home in the 1900 block of Tall Timber Court for reports of multiple shots being fired. Upon arrival at the home, they would locate an unresponsive adult female in the front yard, along with an unexpected barricade situation.
Breaking news on that hours-long police standoff in Prince George's County. We understand it just ended. We've learned 2 people are dead. Walter Morris is live in Fort Washington now with the very latest. Walter, what happened?
Well, that's right, Sean. Police providing an update. We expect to get more details from the department in just a matter of minutes. But as you can see, officers now reopening the street. They tell us the standoff has now come to an end, that suspect in custody. And again, they confirm that 2 people are dead. Let's go to video from earlier. Take a look at this. Now, this was the view here near Tall Timber Court here in Fort Washington. The SWAT team called in and residents told to shelter in place. Now, Prince George's County Police providing this update just minutes ago. They say 11 p.m. adult male suspect is in custody and being transported for medical evaluation. 1 adult female is deceased on scene. 1 adult male deceased in the home. 3rd shooting victim, an adult male, is at the hospital. Homicide unit is assuming investigation. Now back out here live, of course, at this point still many more questions than answers as far as what led to the shooting or really more details about those people involved.
Once inside of the home, police will locate an additional victim. The victims were identified as 52-year-old Rori Burch and her son, 25-year-old Michael Burch Jr. A witness described seeing Rori running from her husband outside of their home, with him then firing multiple shots at her before she fell to the ground. The husband then walked over to Rori and shot her in the head before running back inside of the home. A second victim was aware the shooting had occurred and ran to the Burch home to help, but he was also shot multiple times by the husband, who was quickly identified as 62-year-old Michael Kevin Burch. The victim was later rushed to the hospital and is in stable condition. When officers arrived on the scene, they found Rori deceased in the front yard of her home. Michael Burch barricaded himself inside of the home for roughly 5 hours, refusing police commands to leave. Officers eventually went inside the home around 10:45 p.m. and located Michael Burch Sr. in an upstairs bedroom near a rifle and a handgun. Officers smelled the strong odor of gas within the home, so Michael Burch was transported to the hospital for treatment. While clearing the home, officers found the body of an adult male lying near the front door. He was quickly identified as the couple's son, 25-year-old Michael Kevin Burch Jr., who had suffered multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said both of the victims will be transported to the medical examiner for autopsies. Prince George's County Police have investigated 17 domestic-related homicides this year.
I've been here in the neighborhood all day talking to residents. Some of them were home. Happened. One woman actually witnessed the crime. She says that she saw the alleged gunman, allegedly kill his own wife outside here in the yard area. And then we learned today that a second person who was shot was simply a neighbor trying to help. He has survived that shooting. But when police went inside the house, as you see here, they did find the body of the shooter's son as well. That shooter is now in custody facing multiple charges, including murder. And you can see that there are bullet holes here in the house, indicating the chaotic and violent incident. And police are telling us that they still don't know the motive. Police say this man, Michael Burch, shot and killed his wife and son at their Fort Washington home yesterday afternoon. Police say he also shot a 3rd man, a neighbor who had knocked on the door trying to help. He's expected to survive. This neighbor, who didn't want to be identified, heard a shot and ran inside.
When I went in the house, I saw him just kind of crawling around the back, the one who got shot.
Police identified the victims as Burch's wife, Rori Burch, and their son, Michael Burch Jr. Officers were called to the home on Tall Timber Court about 5:45 Thursday afternoon. They found Rori Burch's body in the yard, as well as the neighbor who had tried to help. According to charging documents, a witness saw Burch chasing his wife outside before he shot her and shot her again once she was on the ground. Detectives say Burch refused to come out of his home, prompting a barricade that lasted for hours. Just before 11 p.m., officers went in and took Burch into custody. The documents say Burch was in a bedroom with a rifle and handgun close by. His son's body was found behind the front door.
Very shocked that nothing like that ever happened around here or with them or anything.
Loved ones showed up at the home today. It's riddled with bullets above the front door and the side, a front window broken. Neighbors don't recall there ever being trouble here before.
So I was just shocked, like I say, just because, like I say, you never expect nothing like that in your neighborhood, so, and still just kind of surprised. So, but other than that, I mean, I feel for the family, everybody in it, but it's the way it is now. Everything is crazy, so you just never know.
62-year-old Michael Burch Sr. has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder and related charges in the murder of his wife and son. He is also charged with attempted murder and the shooting of his neighbor, who knocked on the front door during the time of the incident. It was not immediately clear whether Burch had an attorney. Efforts to reach relatives of the Burch family were unsuccessful. A motive is still under investigation. The case remains ongoing.